Absolutely lived up to expectations, exceeded them much. Yeah, and you mentioned all the revenue drivers. We also signed a historic media deal since.
You won't believe what WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert just said about Caitlin Clark. Fans are calling her a coward and players are not happy. But is there more to this story than meets the eye? So here's what happened. Cathy Engelbert was on CNBC talking about the WNBA.
But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more...
We have now about 17% of our players born outside the United States, so we're kind of globalizing our player population.
And she starts downplaying Caitlin Clark's impact on the league. Can you believe it? She's basically saying, hey, it's not all about Caitlin. We've got other players too. And let me tell you, people are not happy. Fans are going crazy on social media, calling Engelbert a coward for not giving Clark her due. And the players? They're not keeping quiet either. It's like Engelbert just lit a match in a room full of gasoline. But here's the thing, there's more to this story than you might think, and it's about to get real interesting. You know how sometimes things aren't as simple as they seem? Well, this is one of those times. Buckle up because we're about to dive deep into this mess. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. All right, time for some real talk. Remember how I said things aren't always what they seem? Well, Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is way bigger than Engelbert's letting on.
We do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch.
We're about to break down some numbers that'll make your head spin. Let's dive into the Clark effect. When she's on the court, something wild happens to the WNBA's viewership. We're not talking about a small bump here. Games featuring Clark are pulling in 2.5 to 4 times more viewers compared to games without her. That's not just good. That's game-changing. Think about it. A rookie comes in and suddenly everyone's tuning in? That's unheard of. Clark's not just playing basketball. She's putting on a show that people can't resist watching. And it's not just TV ratings. Attendance is through the roof when Clark's playing. Fans are flocking to arenas to see her in action. So here's the million-dollar question. Why is Engelbert trying to downplay this? It doesn't make sense, right? You've got a player who's bringing in massive crowds and boosting your TV ratings. Most leagues would be shouting that from the rooftops. But here's where it gets tricky. The WNBA isn't just about one player. Engelbert's job is to promote the entire league, not just its brightest star. She's trying to walk a tightrope between celebrating Clark's success and making sure other players don't feel overshadowed. It's like having a team where one player is scoring 50 points a game. Sure, it's amazing to watch, but what about the rest of the team? How do you keep everyone motivated and feeling valued? That's the challenge Engelbert's facing. She's got to figure out how to use Clark's star power to lift the whole league without making it feel like it's the Caitlin Clark show. It's not an easy balance to strike. And let's not forget about the other rookies making waves.
These rookies have put on quite a season, and it's not just Caitlin and Angel. Rickea Jackson and other rookies are killing it this year.
Angel Reese is another newcomer who's been turning heads. The WNBA's got a lot of talent, and Engelbert's trying to shine a light on all of it. But here's the thing. Numbers don't lie. Clark's impact is undeniable. She's not just popular, she's changing the game. People who've never watched women's basketball before are tuning in just to see her play. You know how they say lightning never strikes twice? Well, the WNBA just got hit with a double whammy. Clark's not the only rookie making waves. There's another new player who's stirring up just as much buzz, but for totally different reasons. Ever heard of Angel Reese? The drama between these two is taking the league by storm, and Engelbert's comments just poured gasoline on the fire. Engelbert tried to frame the Clark-Reese dynamic as the next big thing in sports. She said, "It's a little of that bird magic moment. You need rivalry. That's what makes people watch." Sounds great, right? A classic sports rivalry to boost the league's popularity. But here's the thing, it didn't land the way she hoped. Players and fans are saying Engelbert missed the point completely. And you know what? They might be right. This isn't just about two talented players going head-to-head. There's a whole lot more going on under the surface. Let's break it down. Clark is white, Reese is black. And that's where things start to get messy. The fan interactions around these two players, they're not always pretty. We're seeing some real ugly stuff come out in the comment sections and on social media. It's like the rivalry has taken a dark turn. People are bringing race and even sexuality into the conversation. And it's not just a few bad apples. This is happening on a pretty big scale. So when Engelbert tries to hype up this rivalry like it's all fun and games, it feels off. It's like she's ignoring the elephant in the room. The toxicity in fan interactions is a real problem, and it's not something you can just brush under the rug. This whole situation is holding up a mirror to some bigger issues in sports and society. The way fans treat Clark versus how they treat Reese. It's not just about their playing styles or their stats. It's about the biases and prejudices that exist in the real world, showing up in how people talk about and react to these players. Engelbert's job isn't easy. She's trying to promote the league and create excitement, but in this case, her attempt to drum up interest might have backfired. By not addressing the racial dynamics at play, she's left herself open to criticism. This isn't just a WNBA problem. We see this kind of thing happening in other sports too, but that doesn't make it okay. If anything, it shows how important it is for leagues to step up and actively combat toxic fan behavior. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, Engelbert drops a bombshell apology. But here's the kicker. It might have made things even worse. How did a simple, "I'm sorry," turn into such a mess? Cathy Engelbert finally decided to address the controversy, but her apology didn't exactly smooth things over. She admitted that she missed the mark with her previous comments about social media abuse. In her own words, she said, "I regret that I didn't express, in a clear and definitive way, condemnation of the hateful speech that is all too often directed at WNBA players on social media." Sounds like a step in the right direction, right? Well, not everyone's buying it. The WNBPA, the players' union, wasn't impressed. They're saying Engelbert's apology is too little, too late. And you know what? They might have a point. Let's break it down. Engelbert tried to frame this whole thing as a teachable moment. She said, "I want us as a league to do our part to change the too often toxic and abusive nature of social media discourse." That's all well and good, but why did it take so much backlash for her to realize this? And it's not just the players' union that's upset. Some of the biggest stars in the league are speaking out. Brianna Stewart and Kelsey aren't holding back. They're calling out Engelbert for not doing enough to protect players from online abuse. Here's the thing. This isn't just about one commissioner or one league. It's about how sports leagues handle toxic fandom and player safety. The WNBA isn't the only league dealing with this stuff, but they're in the spotlight right now. Engelbert tried to clarify her stance on social media, saying, "To be clear, there is absolutely no place for hate or racism of any kind in the WNBA or anywhere else. But for many players and fans, this feels like too little, too late." So what does this mean for the WNBA? It's putting a spotlight on how league officials need to step up when it comes to player safety and dealing with toxic fans. It's not enough to just promote the games and the stars. They need to be proactive about creating a safe environment for everyone involved. And let's be real, this isn't just a WNBA problem. Every sports league is dealing with social media abuse and toxic fan behavior. But the WNBA has a chance to lead the way here. They could set the standard for how leagues protect their players and address these issues head-on. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Engelbert the right person to lead this charge? Her apology shows she's willing to admit when she's wrong, but is that enough? The players don't seem to think so. All right, let's break down this whole mess. Engelbert tried to hype up a rivalry, but it blew up in her face. The WNBA is dealing with some serious issues: racism, online abuse, you name it. And fans are asking, is Engelbert the right person to fix this? Here's the thing. The WNBA's got a chance to lead the way in dealing with toxic fans and player safety. But they need to step up their game. It's not just about promoting stars anymore. It's about creating a safe space for everyone. So what can we do? Keep talking about this stuff. Support all the players, not just the big names. And let the WNBA know we want a league that's fair and safe for everyone. It's time for some real change, and we can help make it happen.